EUCF 2024 live from Oostende, Belgium. We're into the semifinals. Just had a cracker on this field. We're hoping for another. France, UK, Sesquidistus taking on Deep Space. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside Ravi Vasudevan. He's just put his heart back in his chest from the last one. Ravi, excited about this one?
Yeah, we just saw a French team punch a ticket to the quarters. Let's see if we can see there's a French team going to punch a ticket to the finals now. Sesquidistus hoping to do that against the defending champions, Deep Space. And there's a block from Deep Space on the first point.
First point, step into the lane there, Thacker. And the pickup now from Sandwell. Wind up. And sent deep, hanging, but that one came a little bit too hot. And it'll go back for a second chance to hold for Sesky.
Yeah, a bit Blady on that pull, on that throw. Not the shape he wanted. Last game I saw in this field, a lot of people were struggling with overthrows in that end zone. Didn't see many giant blades like that. Different players out here.
Indeed, settling in to a fresh set of athletes out here.
The talismanic figure of Ansela throws the centering pass to start.
And a floaty one gets knocked away again. Zhang on the smackdown. And picked up by Sandwell. Sandwell goes around, hits in, Hill, and fired in for the goal. Heavy spike out of Ian Tate, and Deep Space put the first on the board.
Yeah, they get a break. That is a downwinder, so I don't know if it's going to be more offense, defense, or upwind, downwind this game, but either way, Deep Space happy to score one to start. Not the best offensive start from Sesquidistus. I know they're missing quite a few O-line players at this tournament. So far, not really tested, kind of cruising their way to the semifinal. They're missing likes of like Sasha Podsokolski, and I forget the other names, but Gael told me about 2 other male matching normal O-line players this season couldn't make it out to the UCF. Still a very strong outfit, but maybe going to struggle a little bit once they finally get against the big competition. We did know in the mixed division things are going to heat up in the semifinal rounds.
And they are heating up here. Both of these teams are undefeated, 4-0. Both of them coming into this one, as you said. Sesky maybe, as I've mentioned before, the well-rested versus well-tested. I don't know if they've got the test that they've hoped for. And maybe that could play a difference in this one. They've cruised through. They should have the legs. They should have the fitness, but having the roster shortened might negate that a bit. Defending champs here, Deep Space.
These teams have only played each other once this season. Their Deep Space got a 15-10 win over Sesquidistus, but the algorithm's still expecting a dead draw between these two teams. Rating difference of 16.83 between the two.
That means we're going to get a good one.
Last time I had a dead draw expected a little while ago, I got a 15-4 win for Savage over Power Rangers, so I don't trust the algorithm so much when it comes down to the EUCF.
Wow, who made this algorithm?
Hey, at this tournament, you throw it out and play the games.
Here comes Sesky. Far sideline, heavy spin there from Petitot. He gets it to Oostende. Inside, Petitot. He cruises over Charnay and into the middle for Maton. Berentin. Oostende well guarded, but still squirrels around enough and then fires a dart into Charnay for the goal.
What do you think there as a coach, Steph? I want to ask you in that situation. Now, what happened with Ansela, it took him, I don't know if we're going to get to see it. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. We missed a couple more cuts. Typically, I tell handlers, you got to make 1, 2 cuts and get out. You can't be dancing around like that. But then sometimes you have a player that you know that if you give him a few more, he's going to get open. Anslan's that type of player. For this type of team the Sesqui is, would you like to see him doing that type of cut or clear out and make space for the rest of his team?
I think this offense is very clearly centered around Gaël Oostende.
Get the disc in his hands.
The French offense, particularly when they run their national team offense, will let him have that extra step. And I think his own club, where he's the captain, he's definitely going to get that extra 2 seconds of stall count cutting to let him cook and give him a chance to get one more step. And I think it works for the team. Everybody's very aware of it. It's not like they're, hey, man, get out of here. We're waiting to cut next. It's like, hey, wait one more second. We're waiting for Gaël to get free, and he normally does. And that's why they'll allow him that freedom. Deep space, shoots the other way, hangs one up, and that one for Itermendi. He does have it in hand, and he does. I thought perhaps his chest hit the out of bounds. There was no big celebration, but the goal stands, and deep space tack on the second of the game.
Alvaro Itermendi, the Spaniard, played really well with Spanish national team on the beach side and has been on deep space for a couple of years now. Definitely one of the top players to look out for, outside of the likes of Axel Amala last year, who of course is a key reason why they won that title over Krutz back when they were still playing mixed. Itermendi was another player that was a standout on the male matching side for deep space. Look at this, he misses it on the jump, lays out on the second effort, and keeps his body in bounds. Phenomenal body work there from Itermendi.
Yeah, excellent stuff. We've come to expect that from the Spanish import. Getting some of my oil leaf extract in, keep the moneymaker working there, Rav.
That's Jack Halkyard with the assist. Trusting Itermendi. That was really a trust ball.
Yep. Putting it out to the pairing you like. And Gaël Oostende sends his own trust ball. Petitot is there, and he gives a slap spike. How about a one-throw score for Sesquidistus?
That's a bit more like it. Their last offensive, well, their first time they went out there, they got broken. Second time was a bit difficult. This is showing the confidence they have those shots. It's very important to get these out there in the beginning of the game, to get deep space to respect your deep game, because if you just play grind, they're eventually going to clamp down, play hard defense. If they have to respect you both ways, it'll open up a lot more space in the unders later in the game. There, Petitot very brilliantly reading that disc, trying to get that around the big body of Ian Tate's. No easy feat. Sesqui 2-2, deep space still up a break.
I called it a one-throw score. It was a two-throw score, but one was a freebie to just get it to center.
Pass never counts.
Yes.
When you go out there and you probably had some transition Ds out there that you say for X passes, and then we go into it. Do you count the centering pass,
no.
or do you not? Yeah, exactly.
No, you
so
count passes when the defense has arrived.
Exactly. So that pass didn't count.
Yeah, I was right. That's what you said. Thanks, Ralph.
Yeah. I got your back. I got your back, Steph.
Oh, as always. So 2-2. Let's not forget that there is an opening break on the opening point for deep space. So for those of you very well informed with this sport, you know exactly what we mean. For those of you catching up and learning as we go, a break is when you score, but you started on defense, and that is how this game kicked off as the Australian Elliot Cook gets going for deep space.
Was he on the Mondays this year?
He was not. He played with them at Windmill, but was not on the selection side for Worlds.
I remember him when we played against them at Windmill. So.
Yeah, great player, Cookie. I remember him when he first started playing as Caudron, makes a great play, and then goes to Denison.
Denison, another star player on this team.
She's taken her talents across the Atlantic to play with New York's Exist in the mixed division there as well. But doing it for the home club here. Denison leads. Caudron, sticky hand, hangs on to that one. The around, Denison. Now big shot, but not enough on it. Dennison went looking for gold, but came up empty-handed.
Yeah, it was actually a very pretty looking throw form, stepping back into that flick to able to generate the power on it, but not enough on it. Those winds pushing it down into the turf. And now Sesquidistus will get their first chance at a break. Justine Brew, the veteran, gonna go out there to drive things in this horizontal stack setup.
Brew comes to the line. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Almost a Callahan, but an interception most certainly on the doorstep. Baker connects with Dennison. Dennison looking for options as the stall count mounts. Cook finds just enough space, and the throw gets there. Deep space, put the third on the board.
Yeah, they do it. Definitely not the easiest point in the world for deep space. If I'm Sesquidistus, oh, there's a discussion, sorry.
Oh, don't count that one yet.
It is counted as a goal, Steph.
Okay, count that one, yeah.
now count it. I was just going to say, Sesquidistus, that's a tough window for them to hit. I'm not too upset about that red zone defensive stand if I'm a Sesquidistus player. You want to force them into those, and this win, one or two of those might not work out. You see here, the upline cut from Cook, and just a tiny window. Dennison does find it there, but I'm okay giving that one up, I think.
Elliot Cook, of course, has been in the UK for quite some time, but did a big part of his playing in Brisbane. Played for Mammoth when they won their first national championship in Australia. Was part of the club team in Brisbane Blitz when he first got things going. And of course was the assist getter on the championship goal last year for Deep Space when they won their first continental title.
Let's talk about the rest of this division real quick. TFC Talker beat Disconnection 15-12. They're in semis against Tartu Turbulence. Beat Mosquitoes 15-13. Deep Space won on Universe against their country rivals Reading 13-12. Sesquidistus had the easiest quarterfinal, 15-9. So like you say, the only team that is most well-rested, the other one's a bit more well-tested.
Yeah, let's see. I am, when I do, you know, depends on the tournament, depends on the moment, but generally speaking, I would rather have my team be hardened, you know, iron sharpening iron, and get those test matches and go through a bit of adversity before you get to these big elimination matches. Sesquidistus have not necessarily had that, and a drop there by Barentin.
Unfortunate Deep Space with a short field opportunity.
Gilboy throws inbound, and then the big shot. Saville leads. And it's Potter who pops one in and puts another goal on the board. That's a break for Deep Space, and they stretch ahead, making it 4-2. Do I smell a timeout coming?
Don't think quite yet. Looks like Sesquidistus is walking back towards the line. That's just, it is 2 breaks total, but not 2 breaks in a row. Not maybe time to put the panic button yet. I think that if I'm Sesquidistus, you need to understand your moments of when you want to use those timeouts, and what we're probably going to need later in this game, now that they're down in a hole, is Gael to cross over a bit. And I think understanding when is that moment, when do we need to keep him rested, because I do think the women matching side on the Sesquidistus team could probably go and cycle through. The male matching side, there is one star that stands out, and that's Gael Onslaught.
Yeah.
And I think the best use of their timeouts is how can we manage his energy.
Yeah, I would have taken one just now, though. They get 2 per half. Deep Space have already accumulated what would be half the amount of goals to take half. No timeouts taken yet. They're down, they're doubled up on. And their turnovers have been, well, particularly the last one, self-generated. I'd like a little moment to talk about that in between points, but they will not. And it's them who are managing this game, not I. So Oostende saw that one out of bounds and will slowly walk it in. He'll come to the brick spot. And Koshoff is there waiting for him. Monet gives the double step and gets the disc. Oostende squirrels around. And Monet again. Gaël Oostende waiting for something, does get a cut. That one's Charnay. Petitot leads, and beautiful throw, in fact. Cut Gaël Oostende off guard for a second, but gave him enough time to catch up. Continuation, Lernoux. And then Charnay again. Oostende looks in and gets a leading throw to stick to Chenet. Leads again to Oostende. Petitot fires in for goal, and that one sticks. Gavillet, the Swiss miss, cashes in.
Nice hold there for Sesqui, keeping this one close. 4-3 now. Very solid hold. Very good work there from Oostende and Monet working together. Eventually we got Petitot getting the dish off to Oostende, and you see just how important he is to this line. Look at that throw.
And that brings things back to within one.
Looking elsewhere in the tournament, we're getting to the business end. Steph, Mooncatchers, and Chalk have moved on in the Open Division to the semifinals. There'll be a Francophone semifinal there.
Ooh la la.
Clapham from London against La Fota. That's always box office on the other side of the bracket.
Mais oui.
On the women's side, we have Moon Cup moving on to the semi for their first time. Going to be facing Jinx Midnight there in a ex-Central region matchup between Brussels and Berlin. And then BFD Shout versus Hrutz, who won their quarterfinal 15-1 against last year's semifinalist Troubles.
That blew my mind. I saw it like 4-0. I was like, okay. So I saw 7-0. I was, whoa. I saw 14-0. What has got into this team from Amsterdam? And I was just saying,
Sarah Upkins has got
stay out of their way.
It'll be an interesting one to watch. They struggled against BFD Shout Zone in the spring tour. They lost to them twice, so it's a tough matchup for them because I think they're really good on athletic matchups, but Shout's got that intelligence.
And of course,
that's a great match to watch.
Shout the pedigree, the defending champs, they'll have a lot to play for. As Cadron and Deep Space are more worried about their prospects of finding a way into the final. That one comes under. It was indeed Squires who gets it again. Squires nothing to shoot at. Gets a gainer and a couple extra steps there, and the throw blades into the ground just before the hands of Elliot Cook.
Sesqui with another chance for a break as the leader, Justine Bru of this D-line, asking for a new disc, or at least checking for this disc.
Oh, that thing is wobbling, full taco. I'm gonna have to inspect that disc. Ian Tate's got it picked up. And Bru's got the disc back. Gwen Tessier, an excellent player who refined his skills at ISNO, the Maison Rouge, hangs one up, and Hulkyard steals that one away with ease over top of Charnay. There's two Charnays out there, Anthony and Evan. That was Evan who just got roofed. Naden goes inside. Baker. And Cook fires. Squires throws the body and picks up another goal for the Deep Space.
Fires for Squires. Very confident hold there. Great play, just enough to energize this Deep Space side. Maybe they can drive that energy with another break opportunity. Again, Sesqui not able to capitalize. That's two chances they've had squandered. And that's what I'm saying. is it going to take crossing Gael Ancelan over to make one of those break opportunities happen? And how much is it going to have to play in this game if they're going to want to win it? They're missing Sasha Plotzakolski. They're missing some other stars.
But, I mean, they're going to either have to cross him over, but they might have to do a bit more than that. If they can get him cloned before the next point, that would help out a little bit, too.
I got to check the rule book to see if that's actually allowed.
Wait, what? Are you serious? There's something against cloning?
Well, is it an additional player if they have the same exact DNA?
All right. I don't think we've worked out that technology yet anyways.
Does that have the same jersey number? Like, we got to work this out in the rule book.
7.
Get Ruben Berg out here. Let's figure this one out together.
So 5-3, 2 breaks to none. Deep space sitting out in front. Send the pull, and it is Ancelan who collects and goes to Barentin. Looking into the teeth of a deep space zone. Ancelan comes around, and Barentin, they exchange. Ancelan again. Barentin and Ancelan, will they let anyone else touch the disc? No. Ancelan and Barentin. Every touch on the possession, and now they include teammates, Petitot and then Monet. Petitot back to Ancelan, and now Barentin. Less than 10 meters out. Barentin has no mark and ushers over Monet. They're wide open in the corner, finally seen and then hit for the goal. That one into the hands of Maton, and Sesqui respond with a hold.
Hey, you see that zone really trying to push Sesqui into this sideline space, but Barentin and Ancelan so comfortable with those tiny little dish passes to each other. Worked it up about 20 to 25 meters just between the two of them on a bunch of tiny little passes. Timeout now on the field.
Now. That must be a deep space timeout.
It could be a Sesqui timeout to say, hey, let's cross Gael out and plan for another point. I'm not sure yet.
Indeed, it was a Sesquidistus timeout. Ravi, you've got that one properly assessed.
I'll put good money on Ancelan crossing over this point.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take that bet. No, I'm not taking that bet.
Anyone in the chat want to take that bet?
No, that is an absolute guarantee.
What odds do I have to give you for that one to take?
The same odds of them not being able to have a clone ready for the next game.
You see that guy, he's not just a leader on the field, he's a leader as a coach, as an emotional center. He's been putting the Sesquidistus team up year in, year out.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He is the voice, the heartbeat, the eyes and ears of this team. And they all look to him. They don't necessarily rely on him, but they look to him. And I should have taken that bet, Ravi.
Yeah, he's not going on the field. He's, Wait.
No,
he's out.
He's going to go have a chat with Deep Space. Ask them about the cloning rule.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's also the spirit captain on this team. He does it all.
He will let his defense cook.
Remember Keith Rayner from Ultiworld saying just how impressed he was with Gael in that semifinal against Canada, and the calm and poise he was able to keep in every discussion when he was trying to get Canada to see that maybe some of their calls weren't exactly what his point of view was.
You say every discussion. There were a bunch of discussions, were there?
There were a couple of discussions there in that Canada-France.
Yes, I was on that sideline, Ravi. I saw a lot of those discussions, and I really wondered why there were so many.
You wondered?
I did.
You had to wonder?
Anyway, I actually didn't have to wonder. I questioned. Jono Mondays, as he's seen on the roster, sends that one. But we know he's Kofi. Great story behind Mondays. Naden comes under. Cadron collects. Tate winds up the backhand, but the mark was there. Goes around to Cadron. Cadron to Dennison. Dennison waits for the mark of Lachie to approach. Now Cadron. And another exchange between the two. Dennison gets an inside seam, hits Intermedi. Ooh, Dennison and Intermendi is open, but and no pick called. I'm surprised, but a good switch from Seski to make up for it into the backfield for Halkyard. Now Dennison leads a bit too much on it, and a tumble away.
Yeah, there was
Kofi and not sure who that is, but is it Intermendi? They get tangled up.
Yeah, I think that is Intermendi. We're going to see the throw here. I do think it might have been out of reach for both of them, but then again, Intermendi has made some heroic leaps. He wasn't able to jump there. So I could see the argument that contact affected things. Not for Immortal, but for Intermendi, maybe.
Yeah, I still don't know if I love. Like, I get what you're saying. He's a great player, great athleticism, but even for Intermendi.
Let's take a look again. Here's a throw. You see there,
I
think he might have been able to chase that down without the contact. Maybe it would have been a turn, but if there was any chance, and I don't think you can argue there was no chance, and that's what you have to do to retract the foul.
Yeah, they are getting a opinion from Max Squires right now. They've asked for one from the sideline. He would have had his hand up to offer.
And it is an accepted foul. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I'm not upset with it. I'm not sure I think it's the right call, but it's splitting hairs here. That was very close to call, so I'm not unhappy with it one bit.
Well, I'm sure they did it to make sure you were happy, Steph. That's why they're really.
That's why they're playing out there, right? For me, in my opinion. No, not at all. Intermendi goes to Dennison. Dennison leads, and Tate puts the toe down. Deep space, collect the goal, and you see Tate gives a bit of a body slam to Dennison on the would-be hug celebration.
Dennison came in hot with that attack. I don't think Tate saw it coming, and that was just the response at the last minute.
Yeah, I don't think Tate was ready for as much that Dennison came in with, but that was fun to watch.
I hope we get the replay all the way to the celebration here, because that was pretty funny.
There's the goal, easily towed down.
He goes for the first hug, and then Dennison comes.
There's the spike,
and then Dennison just comes in. And then the body slam.
I know, there was a second pickup there.
So Deep Space still in control of this one. 6-4 is the score. Deep Space still up 2 breaks in this game.
2 breaks.
Seski has looked good
because they're 2 breaks to none.
Seski has looked good in this one, but still the tricky thing has been able to generate anything offensively once they get the turn. I think they're 0 for 2 or 0 for 3 on break chances so far.
So they're getting chances, but not converting.
According to the stats sheet, it's 0 for 4, whereas Deep Space is 2 for 6.
Berentin goes to Monsieur Ancelin. He gets the under. Céline Antoine.
I haven't seen her name yet.
No, that's the first time I saw her. I was actually surprised that I hadn't seen her. The big shot goes, and they were asking for a lot there. Shooting to Charnay, and it gets stepped in front of and knocked right the heck out of there.
Yeah, it's a heroic block for Deep Space.
Looks like Stephen Millard.
There's the shot up. Miller just reads it well, goes up strong, knocks it away. That's a volleyball spike of a D. Tim Gilboy to start things off for Deep Space.
Gilboy bouncing off his pivot steps. Goes to Millard. Leads and fires the other way. Beautiful shot from Millard lands right into the hands, and deep space extend 7-4 with a big break there.
Millard getting the block, Millard getting the assist, putting the team on his back in this point. Deep space in full control of this one now. 3 breaks to 0, 7 points to 4. The defending champions look like they're ready to punch their ticket into one more final.
Yeah, they are looking sharp there. They are making them pay for their mistakes. And they are 1 away from taking it to half. And if they can do that at the speed they've been cooking, we're moving at a great pace here, Ravi. 11 points on the board in 30 minutes. This game is chugging right along.
TFC Talker up 7-3 on Tartu. I think the matchup we've kind of been waiting for is this deep space versus TFC matchup. So at the moment, looking like we might get that one. Game's not over yet on either side.
I'm not going to start wagering body parts on it yet, but maybe soon.
Maybe a fingernail.
Yeah. Nose hairs. I can afford to lose some of those. Ancelin to Monet. Antoine. High, Petito handles without any problem. And a nice take again there. High take, Gavillier to Petito. Pick called before the score. Did it affect? Let's see what they say.
Antoine looking a little disappointed. Was very happy with her cut there.
So back in play with Ancelin waiting for some dance moves to finish, and they do. And that one does find its way into Chenet. And Sesqui answer 5-7. But again, a chance to take half now for deep space with a possession. And they will come out in the second half no matter what if they can put this one in now. But they're coming out in the second half on O. So a good response. Let's see if they can generate some momentum with it.
And there again, we missed it, but we saw the dance moves from Petito. I think I would maybe let Ancelin do that. I think Petito, make your one cut, get out, and generate some space. They need to get flow once Ancelin has the disc, and we don't need somebody dancing around to clog things up. But as it is, they get the point. All of them count the same. Sesquidistus 5, deep space 7.
And set for the pole. Sesqui send it down to deep space. And Elliot Cook picks up. Squire's still all alone, but couldn't get the disc there. Caudron, ground strips herself. Definitely had that one for a fleeting moment, but sees it away. Ancelin looks, eyes upfield, goes back to the inside. Bru puts it up high. That one to Michon. And now Lachi to Bru. Bru goes back to Lachi. And back to Justine Bru. Tessier.
Lachi also not a name I heard before this point. Some of these big players.
I mean, there are 4 members of the French national team that won a bronze medal at Worlds on this team. 3 females, Barenton, Bru, and Lachi. Of course, Céline Antoine, an ex-member of that French national team. It seems like they could be going through their female matching players a little bit more.
See
for
Lachi and Nate in there
Sesquidistus.
get tangled up with each other. Was Lachi on the World Games team?
Yes.
So those are 2 World Games athletes.
Oh, World Games, no.
No,
Sorry,
World Games,
no.
Okay,
Worlds, yes.
Nathan was on the GB World Games team, so I was going to say it could be 2 World Games athletes at it, but.
Elliot Cook gets the inbounding throw to stick to Gibson. And Gibson to Cadron. Low throw picked up there by Baker. Cadron gets on the bike and Cook fills. Cook very poised out there. Fires the backhand. Squires the target. Oostende coming, and Squires does a great job boxing out and takes half, put Nate on the board.
That's his second great big catch for a score. Squires doing amazing work. What do you think about that celebration, though, Steph?
I actually didn't catch the entire celebration. I was watching the scoreboard sort itself out there, as it did. But maybe we'll get another look at that.
Yeah,
what did you think of the celebration?
It was interesting. I don't know if he got everything he intended from on it, but here we're going to see the huck. And you see Oostende giving chase, putting pressure on Squires, but he takes it down with authority, boxing out Oostende, which is not an easy thing to do. Oostende's got some wiry arms.
Yeah, great
that can
range.
Get out there. I've played a couple times in the French high divisions, and him marking up against me, there are passes that I've gotten that I thought I could get, but all of a sudden his arms just grabbing the disc out in front of me.
Deep space, firing on all cylinders in the first half. 3 breaks in the back pocket. They're going to come out on 0. It's Sesky 5, deep space 8. We're going into half.
On October 14th, 2024, the first ever World Beach Ultimate Club Championships will take place in Portugal. Follow the over 600 games as the scores update live online. And with free streaming from the Ulti TV arena, you can catch your favorite teams on your phone or from the comfort of your couch. Don't miss any of the action from Portimao.
Yes, he will. The lovely did. Deep space 8, Sesky 5, second half ready to kick off, and it'll be Sesquidistus sending the pull over to deep space. There's Ruth Cadron keeping the legs warm.
She's been phenomenal in this first half.
Yeah,
her handling. She missed one layout grab, but she had another layout save for a dump possession. She's just been super reliable in the backfield.
A couple. She's chucked the body around 3 or 4 times, and yeah, maybe missed one, but has had so much more success. Cook gets the under. Dennison leading throws. Squires
also had a pretty good game so far.
Indeed, has missed on one, but has been pretty phenomenal. Beyond that, Dennison, great throw by Squires. Beyond the defense of Mabourguet, and now Squires again gets from Dennison. Leads one, Hulk yard. Spins the hands around instead of the pivot, and then Cook goes wide quickly, and Cadrons is there. 9-5. It's all taken and no given if you're deep space.
Cadron's getting a stat on the board, having the opposite of the commentator's curse. We talk her up a bit. She gets a score for herself. But I think that all got opened up from the leading pass from Squires Dennison up that line. Looked like a pretty tough spot to hit, but he floats that beautifully into space. We're going to see it right here. Oh, perfect replay. Great job, crew. Swing pass across, keeps going. Cadron now toe into the end zone. Deep space just looking like a great fundamental ultimate team right now. They make plays when they have to, they play fundamental when they have to, and that's what you need to win these types of games.
Yeah, and they're quite stingy. I mean, stingy with the disc, not throwing anything. You know, they're hucking when the huck is there. Like
they've made Squires make a couple plays so far.
Yeah, but they're. I still say they err a bit more towards conservative than liberal with their throw choices across the board.
Seems to be working out. 9-5. Deep space in the lead.
And that one gets a touch, and there's defense on before the first throw in the end zone. This is well and truly what we call Callahan country. A low throw now to Monet.
And the 8th defender, Wind, now picking up in a big way.
Antoine throws to Petitot. First job is just to get it out of the end zone here. Oostende fires to Antoine, and they are out of the dreaded end zone. Monet. Centers Antoine. Leads to Gavillet. Petitot. And a clap catch to get Gaël Oostende. He throws through the mark. Monet. Monet goes back and gets Oostende to hit the deck before he comes back to Antoine and up the line for Oostende.
Just taking over.
Ooh! Until then, what is the call? Is it injury or was there a call?
There is a foul call on the mark. I think the argument will be I was stationary or not. There seems to be contact on the throw. Ooh. There. A bit of a touch.
I'd see that again. I think that was a very pedestrian touch.
I don't know if we have a closer angle. From this wide one, it's hard to see. It looks like it was after the throw. It's hard to see. You can't really feel it from this angle.
You know, it's there. I'll call it it's a soft call, but there is a touch. You get any thoughts on that after I've called it soft?
All I'll say is there was a touch. That amount of touch might have affected the throw, and it's up to Gaël to decide whether he really thinks it affected or not.
Well, he's made his decision, and they're playing on. In, Monet goes to knees and does get the reception. Oostende moves for him, gets another. Back in to Monet, and it's not Monet there. That is, I believe, Sandwell, who gets in the way. Sandwell, who got the D, and they chuck it the other way. Sesky will get the disc back, but they'll have a lot more meters between themselves and the end zone.
Disc really took a roll, huh?
Yeah, I got going and stayed going. Gaël Oostende brings it in, and Petitot charges under. Antoine Goes to Monet, and now Petitot fires forward. Lernoux goes back to Petitot. He fights for the round and gets Oostende. Oostende leads. Charnay milks that one the whole way in, or not.
I cannot see the line from here. Let's take a look on the replay. There's the inside shot. Trailing, trailing, trailing. Hops.
Ah, yeah.
I think he was in.
I
think he was in.
I'd say well milked.
Trying to give a perspective here from the VAR.
And great spirit by Ian Tate, who had a chance to come see it on the screen. Called in, that's the integrity call there. He knew that sending that information into his teammate would only be negative to himself and his team, and you love seeing that. And that's what this game is all about, showing that spirit.
In a semifinal. If I'm Sesky here, I think you got to start throwing some power lines out there. I want to see Celine Antoine come out on D. I want to see Gaëlan Salon come out on D. Maybe Petitot get a swing at it. Because the D-line just hasn't been able to generate the turns. I want to see Lachi out there. I want to see all those players give a go, because it's 9-6. This is the kind of moment. There was a lull there. I think maybe with that long discussion, your top players got to rest for a second. Use this moment.
Well, you do see Gaël out there. The rest, maybe not doubling up. Maybe one crossover at a time. But I guess this is the beginning of it. And Hulk Yard and deep space go to Cadron. Oh, Hulk Yard mishandles, and great opportunity for Sesky. They get in the way of the immediate option to Oostende, but Mabourguet sees it on the second try, and Sesky get a break.
First break of the game. He crossed Gaël over once. I don't know exactly how much maybe additional pressure the dump felt on Gaël's mark, but unforced error anyways, and Gaël goes to work in the cutting space. See, just a little too casual on that catch. And Gaël looking for the one-on-one with Brew. Brew doesn't like any of the cuts he makes for her. But then we go around, and Gaël attacks immediately once that break side is open. And Gaël's crossed over and gotten a break for Sesky. 9-7. Sesky trying to make a game out of this one, Steph.
Yeah, that's what they're going to want, but they got to get a string of breaks going on here. It's so much easier when you can just materialize a bit of a run rather than getting one and then seeing some holds and then one and seeing some holds. I mean, I guess it's more dramatic if you do it that way.
As I said, that was a downwind break. Now, the wind's not playing too big of a role here in this game. I think a little bit of thrower's wind, thrower's breeze.
It's probably the first, I don't know, unforced error in easy field position out of deep space.
Yeah, there was the layout Cadron got at one point in the middle of the field, but that was still like a bit more than half field to work with. This was way less than half
less
field.
Than a third, almost less than a third.
Yeah.
Cadron lets that one land out of bounds. And it'll be Cook to pick it up and bring it to the brick mark. Elliott Cook leads to Squires. Squires takes the under, gives it straight back after Itermendi. Gets the touch, now Layla Dennison. Oh, what a play! That is a layout if I've seen one in a while. Fadamelli, holy jumping bajibblies.
That's the kind of play Sesqui needs. They're not going to have Gael out on this point, so the D-line's going to have to do it, but the wind has calmed down. Brew's going to pick up. Sesqui need to convert this one, and then we got a game, Steph.
Wow, that was awesome. Justine Brew and Kate Gibson read that one and stepped in front to take it away. So easy come, easy go for Sesqui.
I'm not even sure where she came from. I don't think she even got to her mark yet when that throw went off. She was just hanging out in the deep space.
Like the namesake. Gibson gets a disc in the center and the gainer to Naden. Naden leads Dennison. Dennison goes high to Mendy, handles with two hands. And Gibson's there for the goal and a sniff of a chance for Sesqui, but deep space, throw it right back the other way.
Another break opportunity wasted by Sesqui. That would have been huge. They would have brought it to within one, and then they had the time to cross Gael over probably for another one. I wouldn't have been shocked if he came out going the other way. And as it is, they're still in this one, but they're going to have to believe. That's my real question to them. They're down, but they have the star power. They have the ability to come back in this game if Gael can just find some adrenaline, run on fumes a bit to close it one out. But does the whole team believe in it? Can you buy into what the team needs to do to win this game? Difficult stuff. They don't have a non-playing coach, which can be very crucial in this moment to understand how to balance the team, how to balance the lines in the right way, what is the proper strategy to use our personnel to win the game. Tall task, deep space, defending champions, up a little bit, a little more comfortable. They shouldn't sit too comfortable. I think Sesqui could fight back if deep space hang out on their laurels just a little bit.
Monet picks up and goes to Barentin. Then arcs one out. Ancelin gets there first. Ancelin to Monet. Monet takes the under. Petitot shovels forward. And the offhand to Chaudet, and he missed it. That has got to hurt.
That was just a little too casual. I know Gael likes to do the fancy stuff sometimes. I don't think that was the right moment for it. And I was so impressed with his powerful upline cut.
But didn't love the throw.
Didn't love the throw.
That said, Chaudet had hands on it. And wow, intercept and straight back. Blink and you'll miss it. Monet does put one in for Sesqui.
10-8, still a couple points separating these two teams. Still the couple breaks that Sesqui's going to need to get back into this one. They're going to need to get 3 more if they want to win this game. They've only got the one, and that's the one time that Gael Ancelin crossed over.
Well, let's see if we get another cross. No, we won't.
Meanwhile, in the other semis, TFC Taucher up 13-6 now. The Munich side over the Estonians.
Yeah, I think the Estonians left everything out there against Mosquitoes to get into the semi.
That
was
was
a great game.
Great game.
It really was, but they play with the top half of their roster to get through that one, to get through a deeper team like TFC Taucher. I think, well, you're seeing what's happening. It's that was a very big asking, a tall task for them, and yeah, I think their next job is to get through this one and put the focus on the bronze.
Yeah, Helen Terra, I think, sat 1 or 2 points in the second half. if that.
Yeah,
She was
Tam
there.
as well couldn't have set too many more. Those two were awesome. We did speak perhaps those two, and there's a few on this field and on the other that might counter, but maybe the best 1-2 female matching and male matching players in this division. You see that drop go down there.
And now we got Lachey out there, who, again, I don't think has been playing as much as I would have expected her to be in this game. But I'd love to see her drive this offense. She has the ability to do so.
And a couple cuts turned away from her, but Tessier comes back. Tessier leads, Mabourguet adjusts and comes back to the disc. And to Tessier again. Fires, Kofi. And Kofi goes the offhand too high, and they've given it back wide open in the deep space. And deep space don't go to the deep space. Squires to Hulkyard. Low, but picked up by Dennison. Then they fire. Itermendi keeps his footing. Dennison, Wade ushers the offhand for Squires to go back, and he does. Leads Dennison! Picks up and goes into a commando roll. Great catch at Alayla Dennison. She now leads Squire. Squires sends, and the 2 feet go down. Is that Max Squires? No, it isn't. He can't catch his own throws, but I thought I saw number 10 on the receiving end.
Yeah, I think they got a double 10 shirt out there.
Squires to Squires. They all on fires. There definitely is.
Another emphatic score there by Deep Space. 11-8.
That Layla Dennison grab we just saw to keep that possession alive, that was something else. There's the real Max Squires.
Will the real Max Squires please stand up?
Hey, bro, who the hell's the other guy? Who just scored that goal? Why do you have 2 people wearing number 10? That was Dan Wilson who got that goal. Not a clone of Max Squires. Going back to our clone talk, Ravi. 11-8. Deep space up a triple.
Sesquidistus, a very traditional vertical stack. Curious what type of play they'll run out of it. They will run, Gael get open.
Barentin shoots for Oostende, and the throw works, and a second one-throw score for Sesquidistus. 9-11, the score line.
Back in my day at college, we called that the bat out of hell, where you set up a nice vert stack. Everyone's got eyes on that. The handler just cuts deep. Haven't seen that too often these days, but Gael Oostende using it there. Great throw by Barentin. And a nice little hop by Oostende to secure that one into the end zone. You see the deep help there from deep space. They tried to make the switch, but still wasn't enough. You need more than 2 defenders to stop that man.
Did you say that man or Batman?
Whichever one.
Man, at least 2 defenders for Batman. Oostende, 5 assists, 2 goals. Not a bad day at the office, but almost expected when they play.
And I think Sesqui's the type of team that will not ever try to win this through their stars. They want to win this as a team. But I want to see Antoine, Barentin, and Gael play a few more deep points if they want to crawl their way back into this one.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to win this is the attitude that sometimes you got to take, especially when you get to brackets. I'm more of the anything it takes.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes players need to have their expectations measured to that. So hey, when we get in the game, we may shorten lines. Gibson gets the right hand out.
Especially with how well rested this team has been, I don't imagine they have had to cross over much earlier in this tournament. This is the time. Put them out now. Get yourself in a final.
Cadron. Deep space, meters away. Naden. Looks back to center. Cook gives a dump option. Cook wanted to go around to Gibson, but no throw lane available. That throw lane availed itself and turned into another goal for deep space. Dan Wilson on that goal. He does have 99 on his shorts, even though a 10 on his shirt.
Etienne Michon, a bit of a veteran player, very solid player, but you can see here not able to put the energy in the 38-year-olds. As a 38-year-old myself, I can understand the pain, but that type of mark that he's got on there is not enough at this level. You just gave a wide open inside break where the rest of your team was fighting hard. At this point in the game, Sesky, you got to put in your star players. I don't mean to single out that player there, but I got to apply more pressure.
How about Cookie, though? 4 assists and a goal. A quiet, confident contributor. Getting it done. Doesn't need to be the star on the podium, but just keeps giving to this team with solid, steady contribution. I see in the back of one of the end zones now a couple of spectators in black there, some of the EUF upper echelon. I think that's Ted Bauta and Audie Furlan. Down in the back, they're in screen there. They were for a second. And Anselin gets the disc and goes to Monet. Then leads one out to Antoine. Gavillet. Anselin. Fires for goal, looking for Petittot, but that one had a bit too many legs and sails out the back. Deep space will have a chance to break. (12-9) and deep space. Fisher walking the disc in. Great story from Fisher. Big shoulder. I'm not sure if it was a separation or dislocation at Elite Invite, and he's had the chop, done the rehab, and got himself back into fighting form to be here for this, for himself and for his team. And great to see as he gets the disc again, Fish. Fisher finds a seam. That one to Seville.
I think a stall out called by Anselin. Fisher did have the disc for a long time in his hands.
And he does indicate, and Fisher contests.
Anselin trying to make his case. Always loves the conversation, that man.
I don't think he loved too many of the conversations out in Australia in that
But he
semifinal.
He loves turning situations that are heated into a conversation rather than just like letting it go and contesting. He wants to make sure everyone's heard their points, and definitely that his point has also been heard.
Inside. Fisher to Tate. Tate shoots for goal, and the goal given. Collection out of Georgie Hill. And that's 13 now for Deep Space.
Deep Space 2 away from punching their ticket into the final, where they will, in all likelihood, face TFC Taucher. Yes, TFC Taucher up 14-8 on Tartu Turbulence, 1 point away. Two teams that I think a lot of us favored to see in the final. Deep Space, the defending champions, TFC Taucher, the EUCF season winners by a good margin. The matchup I've been looking forward to see, so.
And sorry, you said TFC Taucher, they've punched their ticket.
No, it's 14-8. It's 14-8.
Okay,
just
not
about
quite.
there. Just about there.
Just a step ahead of Deep Space, perhaps. At this stage, anyways. And that one right out the back. Oostende will bring this one back to the brick mark. Oostende goes to Monet and then Petito. Petito finds Charnay. Oostende goes high. Barenton gets the hands up. Barenton shoots. It's hanging, but too much company. And that gets 2 slaps at it before it's seen to ground. First Sandwell, then Zhang. Deep Space, generate the turn and go to center. Gilboy leads. Potter, far sideline. Gets to Sandwell. Sandwell goes back to middle. That's Potter again. Potter goes the around. Zhang is there. Zhang to Potter. The around to Gilboy. Gilboy fires. All alone in the back, and that's another goal. Deep Space pile on another. They're 1 away, Ravi, from going to the grand finals and having a chance to defend their title.
This is a great point. That was mostly Deep Space's depth. That wasn't their starting D-line or starting O-line. This was the players that maybe didn't get enough run, and they need to give them a few reps. You don't know what kind of rotation you're going to need to run in the final. I like that the coaching there to allow your depth to get a point, give themselves some confidence. 14-9 now, Deep Space 1 point away. We're gonna go to 15 no matter what, 70 minutes on the clock. It's gonna be a tall task for Sesky here.
Deep Space got a deep roster, and now is the time to use it, protect a nice lead, see it all the way into the final, and hopefully take this one, get yourself tucked in early tonight, and be ready to come out swinging tomorrow. Deep Space have been very good. 3 breaks in the first half. They gave up 1 early in this second half, but have just put in 2 in a row to make it a 3-point run here and really stretch away from 9-11. They've now moved up to 9-14, leaving Sesky behind. And it might just be too late for the Strasbourg outfit.
Let's go, Space! One more shot from you, Fish!
Justine Brew will bring this one into the brick mark. It is game point for Disc Space, but they do need to get their hands on possession if they're going to end it here. Brew goes around, Antoine comes under. Antoine fakes and gets the mark to jump. Brew gets another under. That one to Chenet. High, taken by Oostende. Fired crossfield, Tessier. Tessier spins, shakes into the guts. Low, but nice pickup again. Brew takes one and fired for goal, but missed. And now a true game point situation for Deep Space as they will get possession. So Tom Fisher struts slowly over to the disc. He'll bring that one in on the cone where he's met by Gaël Oostende. Sent forward. Strong pickup with 2 hands. Fired inside. Deep Space churns Seville. Goes to Fisher. Tom Fisher leads and gets Archer. Archer to Tate, back to Fisher. Power position for just a second, but continues slowly and surely. Tate. Fisher calls for it in the dump space. Gets the mark to jump. Taken high. Looked for goal, but not taken. Potter. Eyes upfield. Now Fisher. Fisher leads to Tate. Tate. And that one just flubbed out of the hands straight back to Sesquidistus. Tessier with the disc.
Yeah, I think it was miscommunication. The cutter went out, and Monet read it well. So now Sesky's going to call a timeout. I don't like this call, Steph.
I actually, I don't mind. I hate an in-game timeout, but with...
Let me explain.
Yeah.
It's not about the fact that whether it can be a turn or not, which is one reason I hate in-game timeouts. If Sesky want to win this game, I know it's unlikely, they need to use those timeouts, those precious timeouts, to rest their stars and double up and play more of them to get breaks in this game. And this is a waste of that resource.
I mean, it's use it or lose it as well. If they don't use it now and this game ends in one more turnover, then they're going to have those 2 timeouts in the back pocket. I think they can't look ahead to that future the way this game's been played out, being down by 5 already. They are gassed out there late in the game. You saw Tessier pick that up, absolutely exasperated, out of breath, and I think if they're going to find any chance of getting in this game, that's a timeout they might use just to fill the lungs a little bit and have a chance of going the 50 meters into the other end zone. Let's see how this one works out.
Well, our commentators agreeing to disagree here.
Yes.
Which is fine.
First time that's ever happened.
Nah, we always agree on everything, Steph. Come on.
Yeah.
Sesky coming out in a host stack here.
Tessier shoots a dart towards Antoine and then gets it back. Another hot-handed throw. Tessier gets one inside and sent back to center. Around to Tessier. He goes onto his back in a roll. Down low for Antoine and Oostende. Antoine shovels forward to Bru. Bru shoots for goal. Up high, knocked away, and no second effort. I'm pretty sure Tate got a little touch there. Am I wrong?
He definitely got a touch there, or if anything, at least sucked Monet in for a bit and got him away from that disc. Great defensive play. And give Deep Space the chance to win this one on a break. Don't know if I've mentioned already on the stream, TFC Talker have notched their ticket in. 15-8, the win over Tartu Turbulence. So looking very likely that we're going to get Deep Space against TFC Talker in the final tomorrow. We still have all the single gender semifinals coming up. 3 of them going to be on stream in the next round. 2 on the full production and 1 on VO. And then we've got the last open semifinal under the lights, the round after that. So get yourself a nice cold beverage. Oh, but there's a turn. We're not done with this one yet, Steph.
It ain't over yet. Sesky with the shortest possible of fields. They'll start on the goal line, and any forward completions will count as a goal here. Gaël Oostende turns, looks to the stack, and motions for the shovel, goes backwards. Bru! And a saving catch there by the 51 shirt for Sesquidistus to keep things alive and cooking here.
So 14-10, that's the first job done for Sesky. Gonna have to get 5 on the bounce. We've seen some pretty crazy comebacks at this tournament, Steph, so I wouldn't count it over yet. But the way Deep Space's O-line's been playing, I could see them maybe giving up 1 break, but I don't think Sesky has managed to get 2 breaks in a row yet.
No. The way they've been playing now with the wind, the way they've been playing with the wind at their back, I mean, all things point to Deep Space being able to end this. But until they've gone and ended it, there's still a chance for Sesky.
I'm looking here to see what they're doing in terms of personnel. Are they crossing over already? I see Petito, who's done a lot of offensive work, crossing over to D here. Lachi out there. Bru, of course, getting the call.
Oostende is calling the line, but he's also out there.
And Ophélie Gavillier, I think.
Mabourguet and Michon. Did you mention? Knocked down by Gibson. Ruth Caudron picks up a chance to go to the final and defend their title. Elliot Cook gets cooking and goes to Caudron. The under comes Itomendi. Goes to center. Caudron fires Gibson. Gibson goes back to Caudron, and there's an error. Chance for Sesky to extend the game.
I think this is the second time that Ancelan's crossed over on D. Last time happened, they got a break. And now he is confidently walking up slowly, believing in his team to set up a nice play, going out of a vert stack.
Michon to Oostende. Straight back to Michon. Leads to Lachi. Lachi goes the inside lane. Oostende. Lachi gets it back. And Sesky break late in this game. 11-14 isn't enough to generate the required momentum, Ravi.
I think they got to get 1 more. This next one's the tough one. Once they get that 1 more, we're in 14-12. We're in a real game here.
So it's a fake one for now.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I think the third one will come a lot easier than this one. This one's a lot more work. I really, really, really want you to put a lot of star players out there.
Once that snowball gets rolling.
I want to see Barenton out there right now. I want to see Antoine out there right now. I want to see Gael play one more.
Antoine, yeah. I mean, defensively speaking, I guess.
But they're just throwing a straight D-line out there.
Yeah, they are indeed. I'm totally with you right now, Ravi.
I don't see the fight rotation-wise out of Sesky that I would like in this game.
Yeah. But maybe they're thinking, all right, this is an upwinder for deep space. We back our D-line to get a stop and be able to let the wind push us towards the other end zone. I'm not sure that's the strategy I would be going with, but I am sure that it's not me who's making the calls.
And I'm also sure that the only 2 breaks they put on the board is when Kyle Edson's been on the field. This game.
Will they break the mold here? Cadrin takes the first pass. Inside throw, up the guts to Dennison. She's waiting for Naden. Naden does create enough space. Naden. Blast one, John Kofi comes flying through and gets another turn for Sesky.
Wasn't that a catch block? Did he put that down?
I wondered the same.
Let's see here. I think he ground stripped
himself.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine. It's legit. Legit.
Petitot. Goes inside. Ancelin. Goes around. Connection. Back to Tessier. Tessier to Petitot. Petitot quick release. Mabourguet. Mabourguet shoots for goal, but too far in front. And deep space going to get another chance to close this one out.
The Kofi block does not come away with the break, as has happened time and time again for the Sesky line. When Gahel's not on the field, they have not been able to convert a single break. They did have Petitot crossed over there, so I had some hope, but wasn't enough. Gonna have to do it again.
Cook waits for the Squires up line cut to materialize. Squires fires. He's got the chases on. Hulkyard is there. Gets to the disc. And deep space will defend their title. Tifsi Tauha already here on the sideline watching who they're going to face next. And the finals are all set up in the mixed division. Deep space allow a heartbeat at Sesky, but do finish things off 15-11 in a great semifinal here in Oostende.
So deep space do it here. The defending champions find themselves in the final one more time. Again, they're playing Tifsi Taucher from Munich tomorrow. But don't go anywhere. We've got a great evening of games planned for you. Up next, we got 3 of the open and women's semifinals, and then the round after that, the prime time, the Mooncatchers versus Chalk to close things out for tonight. Lots of games here, Steph.
Goodness gracious, this is the exciting part of the tournament that we speculate upon and that we hold our breath waiting for. It's here, everybody. Don't turn those screens off. Stay locked in and locked on. Deep space get the big win here. Hulkyard, the final goal scorer. Deep space take the win. 15-11 over Sesky. They're going to the finals. For Ravi Vasudevan, I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.